I've just stumbled across the absolute weirdest coincidence. So I was going to do a chess analysis video this evening of this game on screen, Magnus Carlsen versus Vincent Kaymer, final round of the preliminaries in the Julius Baer Generation Cup. But then Magnus Carlsen did something unexpected. He broke his silence at the end of the show, did an interview with Kaya, and she really grilled him, probed him, tried to get some answers out, but it was tough. But something he said, I then did some research on, and it just blew my mind how weird this coincidence is. So I've made a couple notes here of what was said during the interview. So Kaya said to Magnus, congrats on your tournament performance rating of over 2,900 so far and 34 points. I think she said that's a record at this stage of the tournament. And you even did so despite losing 3 points to Hans Niemann because you resigned that game, withdrew from it. I think the whole world is wondering, Magnus, what was the reason that you withdrew from that game? So Magnus said, yeah, unfortunately, I cannot speak on that. And by the way, he was talking quite slowly, and ahhing a lot. But he said, I cannot particularly speak on that. But, people can draw their conclusions, and they certainly have. And I have to say, I'm very impressed by Niemann's play, and I think his mentor, Maxim Dlugy, must be doing a great job. So this was a very interesting comment. You couldn't necessarily tell if Carlsen was being sarcastic or not. I didn't necessarily detect that he was, but who knows, it's a complex situation. Now, I misheard that name, Maxim Dlugy, to start with, but I then did some research into it, looking on the various chats, doing some Googling, discovered that it is Grandmaster Maxim Dlugy, and he has been working with Hans Niemann, it would seem, to improve his chess. So Kaya said, okay, can you confirm or not confirm that it has to do with suspecting him, Hans Niemann, of cheating? Magnus said, I will not comment on that. Although he did say later in the interview, I will give more of a comment after the tournament. Anyway, so I was looking up GM Maxim Dlugy to see who this guy was and the relation to Hans and everything. And that was when I'd stumbled across this whole kind of thread here on Chessable, this discussion thread about Hans Niemann. And this person posted, so Flikas, he said, Borislav Ivanovov was banned by FIDE and lost his title and right to play in tournaments. Maxim Dlugy accused him at a later tournament of having an electronic device in his shoe. Now, this just kind of was really weird to me. So I knew about this cheating scandal. I'm going to bring up now a ChessBase article. So this was back in 2013. I was aware of this, someone had mentioned it in the comments. It was kind of in the back of my mind somewhere as well that I had heard about this before, but I couldn't remember all the names. It's kind of the biggest cheating scandal of the last 10 years, outside the one we're going through now. You had the toilet gate thing with Kramnik and Topalov, but that was back in 07 or so. So the last 10 years or so, this is really the biggest, or one of the biggest at least. Maybe you know of some others. Now, in this one, this was in Bulgaria, I think it was, and this FM, Borislav Ivanov, he forfeited his round 7 game, as it says here, because he refused to take off his shoes and allow the arbiter to check for hidden devices. But his opponent in that round, who was raising alarm bells, I mean, others were too, but his opponent was doing so, was GM Maxim Dlugy. And he provided details, as it mentions here. So I just found that so strange that Maxim Dlugy gets mentioned as working with Hans Niemann. You do a bit of research into who he is and everything like that. And then one of the first things that starts popping up is that he was involved right in this cheating scandal that was going on, nearly 10 years ago now. Now, obviously, Q people start saying, oh, well, maybe he picked up some cheating things there and he learnt how to do it and he's the kind of dark overlord of cheating. He's Darth Vader, Hans Niemann's his Anakin, he's going to train him into his apprentice, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is not the route I'm going down with this at all. I don't believe Dlugy has ever been involved with cheating. And to double down on my views on Hans Niemann, I don't believe Hans Niemann cheated in the Sinkfield Cup or is cheating in this event, as you can see by all of his blunder-filled games, and yet still he's finishing third in the tournament. So that's not where I'm going with this at all. I'm simply saying it just was a very strange coincidence that this guy gets mentioned. He's coaching Hans Niemann, who's wrapped up in this cheating scandal going on right now, and he was once himself involved with arguably the second biggest cheating thing of the last 10 years, directly involved in it. Kind of crazy, kind of weird. Anyway, I know there's a lot of views on this. It'd be good to hear from you as always. I will get back to some chess analysis soon. I'm just pretty gripped by this whole story, to tell you the truth as well. Really interesting to follow it, bring you my thoughts, and I'll continue to do so. If you are confused about everything going on, you don't yet know how to piece it all together, then do check out this video on screen, which explains it all from start to finish. Maybe it will help you as you kind of try and put the pieces together. Thanks very much for watching as always. Do hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. Never miss a future video, and I'll see you soon.